Welcome to Daily Ad Brief. I'm Christina Daves, your host of PR Champions, and today we are headed to the suburbs of Philadelphia to meet with Debbie Goetz of Debbie Goetz Media Connections. Welcome, Debbie.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Oh, it's great to have you. Now, when I checked you out on your website, you have a really all-encompassing approach that you work with your clients. So can you kind of explain, why you need social media with your PR and content marketing, and how do you put the full package together?
So, if you want to do it right, all those elements are really important. And social media, sorry, not only helps you spread the awareness of your event or your mission or whatever it is that you're trying to get the word out about, it also helps you connect with journalists and influencers or target audiences, whoever it is that you're trying to get your message out to. So it's always an important part of any PR package or PR plan or strategy that we put in place. So, for example, we just did an event for a nonprofit this past weekend, and I used the community groups in the surrounding areas to post the flyer and get people to come out. Because in PR, as I'm sure you know, sometimes it's hard to measure the ROI. It could be in dollars collected by a nonprofit, donations received, tickets sold, attendees. And yesterday it happened to be in pounds of food and donations collected. And bringing that out to social media and sharing that with with the community on social media really helped impact the outcome of the event.
And I love how you talked about, connecting on social media. Because I tell my clients this too, you can build a relationship with a journalist, right? So why don't we
Yes.
talk about that? Because if you can find that core group of journalists, that's all you need.
Yeah, I think it's really important to try to develop relationships so that people are familiar with you when you reach out to pitch something to them. So whether it is whether it's the assignment desk people at your local TV station or a writer for the Wall Street Journal or your local newspaper. That's one thing that I've tried really hard to do over the last 12 years that I've owned my business is cultivate those types of relationships so that when they see your email or they get your phone call, they know who you are and they know you bring them good stuff.
Right. And that's super important. Let's talk about value to an audience. The journalists, and we were talking about this offline a minute ago, they are on skeletal crews. The people who are there are so overworked. So when you can be that great person for them, they're going to open your emails, they're going to call you back, right?
Right. The important thing is to make sure that you are very much aware of what their beat is. Okay. And if you're pitching something to somebody who writes about parenting and family, for example, make sure you know what aspect of parenting and family they write about. Because I've actually been working with somebody recently who started a formula hunters group to help alleviate the distress a lot of families are having finding their baby's formula. And when I was doing
Mm.
putting a list together, a media list, I was looking at parenting and family, but there's some people that write about other aspects like mental health and, child care and things like that. So it's important to know as much as you can about the beat or the topic that the journalists cover.
Super important. And I'm really glad that you brought that up because some people just blast things out. We only have a minute left,
Journalists
but
hate
you and I
that.
were talking. Yes, yes, right. Make sure they know. But really quick, because you gave a great tip for, if there are smaller organizations doing their own PR, we were talking about that you can provide your own video, and that's kind of a new thing. So let's quickly just share that with people because it is such a great tip.
Yeah, so a lot of the TV stations, if they don't have enough crews to get out to all the different things going on, they will let you submit your own cell phone video and photos, and they might do a 30-second blurb about it. So if you can provide them with the who, what, where, when, how, and why, and a link or a video or a couple of photos, you might get a news story that way. We just did it yesterday, and 3 out of the 4 stations were not able to come out, and they aired multiple stories on our event from the video and photos I shared with them.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that because that is just so valuable. So thank you for joining us today, Debbie.
Thank you so much for having me anytime.
It was great. So to learn more about Debbie and Debbie Goetz Media Connections, head on over to Daily Ad Brief. I'm Christina Daves, your host of PR Champions, and I'll see you next time.
Simplify presents Addressable CTV, combining the power of TV with the targeting and attribution of digital. Simplify's Addressable CTV delivers massive reach with the ability to scale without sacrificing precision. TV buyers can generate incremental reach with household-level targeting, frequency controls, reporting, and insights. To learn more about Simplify's Addressable CTV and what it can do for your clients, visit simply.fi.